viewers, good morning Facebook Nation, good morning to all people, all colors, all races, all languages around the world, no matter who you are, men, women, children. Good morning to everyone. May you have the most beautiful day, and for whatever goals that you have set forth for yourself on this day, may those goals come to fruition. Alright, it's been a minute, and like I explained, everything is inside that playlist. Anything that I have said, take the time to sit back and rethink some of the things, and this is what this topic is about rethinking and thinking in reverse. So, go into that playlist. Like I said, I'm not in it for the money, I'm not in it for validation, I'm not in it for any of that. I'm in it to just put truth out there so that people can get this truth and understand how to navigate their way through this crazy place that we call this world. So, to get on to the topic is thinking in reverse, and it comes with a question, conversation I had over the weekend with a good friend, and smart. I love smart people, smart guy, real intelligent. His thing is war though, and he's worried about the war that's getting ready to take place with Russia. He's worried about the war that's going to take place with China. Either way around, we know that we all know there's a war that's going to take place one way or another. It's what this country, this whole world was founded on, war. So, he brought up the question, it's like, things are already bad now. The gas prices are going up to $4, and we brought up the point that, this is a pandemic. Prices should be low. All prices should be low, but yet and still they're skyrocketing while everybody else is suffering. And I said to him, it's like, the people who think that they're ahead, they're really not. And for him, he says, speaking for myself personally, he said, no matter what, throughout life, every time I get ahead, every time I'm in the green, it's like something will come up and I'm 2 steps back, always chasing to be right back above water, doing it, his entire life. And he's not the only one. It's people all around the world. You, yourselves, you're going through the same thing. Does not matter what neighborhood you live in, does not matter what your job is, doesn't matter what your position is. If that's the case in point, why are people like Elon Musk still working? Why is people like Bill Gates, why are they still working? Because they're always chasing after that never-ending cycle, that gerbil wheel, which is what we all are chasing. But today we're going to discuss why life is more important than getting on that cycle. And we're starting to see in different places around the world where people are saying, you know what, no, we don't want this. We're not going for it, and we don't want it. And we know that change is coming. So this topic is to answer the question, why is it no matter how many times I get ahead or we get ahead, we're always 2 steps back? And I said, it's the harsh reality that ties in with what he was speaking about, referring to what was going on with, the war, the war that's, forthcoming. And I said, we all sit back and we all think about it. I said, but if you open up our eyes to see everything that's taking place, if you have, where you as an individual, you're suffering, but yet and still they say, okay, well, we're going to send billions and billions and billions over here because there's a war about to take place. Then we're going to send billions while you yourself are suffering. This is happening to people all over this world, and it's happening at the same time. But people don't wake up because there's deception, and we all have deception within us. So what I want to do is I want to explain how thinking in reverse, how it works. It's the point that I just brought up, where you're constantly chasing, you're trying to make more money, but yet still you're not living. At the end of it all, you chase something. You really had no control over your life. You never could enjoy your life the way that you yourself should have had the right to. It's almost like saying we're being born into a world, and there's a book that's being handed to us and says, this is the rules, this is what you must follow, this is what you must do. Instead of saying, experience the world, and learn from us. Instead of, hey, this is what you have to do, and this is what we all stay blind to. That, this has been done through history, but still we don't even know if it was always like this. And we're finding out, more and more people like Billy Carlson and David Icke, they're putting the information out there that, there was peace at certain points in our early civilizations. These things did exist, but then again, there was the same thing what we call angels and demons, same thing what most people call aliens, and the same thing that most people call spirits, or the mythic, gothical type stuff. No matter what you call them, You know, these things exist. These things came on this earth, and you know, the greatest deception in the world is like it said in that movie Reservoir Dogs, saying that the man, you know, the devil made people think that he didn't exist. And this is what we've done over the course of time. We've allowed ourselves to push these things off as myths, and these things are facts. Not only are they facts, they have the evidence to prove that these are facts. And people still, they shy away because there's a wall of deception which says it's okay for you to hide your flaws because we're bad too. So as long as we're bad, we'll, you know, as long as you don't put yourself out there to get caught, then you'll be okay. And if we need you to do something, or we need, you know, you need to do something jointly together in order to get ahead, then you join together to deceive. So it's a constant, no matter what it is, deception is there. But you have the control over how deception works, because you have the right to say yes and you have the right to say no. So again, the harsh penalty in waking up is when one understands the true depth of deception. Our existence has been founded upon our goals and aspirations in life are all predicated upon it. You know, the things that we want to achieve in life. We want to make money. There's going to have to be deception done. We want to, you know, go into a good school. There's going to be, you know, making friends. There's always going to be some kind of deception. But again, is this deception to say there's something beneficial which you're not trying to take, that there is no reward for it, but there's a reward for both or all. So, you know, we predicate our path in life based on it. So I want to share a joke. It's not funny, but it is kind of funny. You know, think of deception in this way. Make sure you get those bets in. The Super Bowl's today. Last chance. Right up until now, around the corner, over 1 billion in bets have already been placed. So remember, that, you know, you got to get your bets in now. And then they say it in such the nicest way, and you can look at it. The commercials are playing on TVs. The commercials are playing. It's almost like saying, remember, gambling is addictive. People lose their homes, their careers, their lives, their relationships, their families. They count down, but yet and still we advertise it, thinking in reverse. So then they can say, well, drugs are bad for you also, but now we see that drugs have become legalized, and more drugs have become more acceptable. So something that was what is bad for people, that causes and breaks up the same thing as what this gambling does, we turn around and we condone it. So again, and then immigration is broken. You know, immigration has been broken for the longest time. You know, it's only now that we bring it up, you know, because we see that we're getting ripped off. So we are all looking for someone to blame. Again, we go with deception because we're being deceived. We go with whatever the narrative is that takes us. So if we have to say, okay, we don't agree with it, but, you know, we don't want to, you know, we don't want problems. So yeah, we'll go and we'll do this, whether it be right or wrong. And then also, you know, they tell us, oh yeah, communities are working together and times are getting better. But we know that those things are not. So, you know, we think a lot of us are out here and we're thinking in reverse. We're thinking on morals, and there are people, you know, our age that are doing this, and, you know, where we grew up with a different moral system. But again, we live in a world where, you know, there's so much, no one really is who they really are. So as long as we're living in a world now where it's okay to be like that, then this is what we're going to get. But the thing I want to leave you with about deception and how to navigate your way through it, it's better to be alone than to, you know, become something that you know you are not and that you're not true to. So, you know, just be happy with the things that you have, and then remember the greatest light is within yourself. And this is the one thing that will always be there to track you down and to always be able to carry you forward. Because you have to remember, which ties back into why every time you're one step ahead, you always end up falling 2 steps back. Because it doesn't matter where you go in this world, you're up against something that you cannot see. You're up against something that can move throughout people, throughout groups, throughout countries, throughout this planet. And they've been doing it since the beginning of time. You know, and you know, the more and more that I understand how these things work, you get to see things that, you know, they don't stress you out, where normally a person will be stressed out about something. They say, well, how could you, you know, not bother you? Because I know exactly what this is, you know. And, you know, that's where me and my friend, we differ, because he just wants to stay in that rabbit lane that says, oh, you know, wars are something that happened, and, you know, this is what we have to do. We have to learn from this and, you know, redo this. No, we have to accept the fact that, you know, there's something there's things that are on this earth, and each power is taking its turn. each power, and we go back to the beginning of time. But I'm not going to keep you on this because I want you to understand why every time you take 2 steps forward or 1 step forward, you fall 2 steps back. And the reason is because no matter where you are on this planet, these things are always here. They're going to watch you, and they're going to, they're just never going to let things get ahead. That means anyone on this planet, not just here, not just me, not just you, but just anyone. And even, for those that feel that they do have it good, they really, really don't, because they have accepted the fact that they can be used. And, that's another subject in itself. But I just wanted to get out there and get this out because, like I said, these are things that I never speak of. And, you can go back through the playlist, talk about all different subjects concerning life and different ways of looking at life. Because if you look at, situations differently, you'll see something higher. People always say they have a higher power, but they never see how the higher power works. Well, you can't deny yourself the truth. Open yourself up to the truth, and you'll see how these things work. So, with that, I want everyone to have a beautiful day. And remember, we stand no matter what the situation, because we remember, we're beings of light, and that's what the end goal is removing your light. So continue to let your light shine bright, and continue to be the best person that you can be, and continue to stand up for what's not right for others, but what's best for all. And with that, everyone, I want to say have the most beautiful day, have a great day for whatever goals you set forth for yourself on this day. May those goals come to fruition as long as they benefit all of humanity, men, women, children, all languages, all colors, all races around the world. Have the most beautiful day. With that, everyone, peace and blessings.